Hey Chief here with Let's Read with Jeffrey. As you probably know, my first two chapters have been deleted off YouTube, so we're going to read the first chapter. Milo, Chapter 1. There once was a boy named Milo. He didn't know what to do with himself, not just sometimes, but always. When he was in school, he longed to be out. When he was out, he longed to be in. On the way, he thought about coming home, and coming home, he thought about going wherever he wished he was somewhere else. And when he got there, he wondered why he'd bothered. Nothing really interested him, least of all the things that should have. It seems to me that almost everything is a waste of time, he remarked one day as he walked dejectedly home from school. I can't see the point in learning to solve useless problems, or subtracting turnips from turnips, or knowing where Ethiopia is, or how to spell February. And since no one bothered to explain otherwise, he regarded the process of seeking knowledge as the greatest waste of time of all. As he and his unhappy thoughts hurried along, for while he was never anxious to be where he was going, he liked to get there as quickly as possible. It seemed a great wonder that the world, which was so large, could sometimes feel so small and empty. And worst of all, he continued sadly, there's nothing for me to do, nowhere I'd care to go, and hardly anything worth seeing. He punctuated this last thought with such a deep sigh, at a house sparrow singing nearby, stopped and rushed home to be with his family. Without stopping or looking up, he rushed past the buildings and busy shops that lined the street, and in a few minutes reached home, dashed through the hall, hopped into the lift, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and off again, opened the door of the flat, rushed into his room, and flopped dejectedly into a chair, grumbled softly, another long afternoon. He looked glumly at all his things he owned, the books that were much too troubled to read, the tools he'd never learned to use, the small electric car he hadn't driven for months, or was it years? And the hundreds of other games and toys and bats and balls and bits and pieces scattered around him. And then, on the far side of the room, he noticed something he certainly had never seen before. Who could have possibly had left such an enormous package, and such a strange one? While it was not quite square, it was definitely not round, and it was larger than most of any other big package she'd seen. Attached to one side was a bright blue envelope which said simply, "For Milo, who has plenty of time." Of course, if you ever received a surprise package, you can imagine how puzzled and excited Milo was. And if you've never received mine, pay close attention, because someday you might. I don't think it's my birthday, he puzzled, and Christmas must be far away, months away, and I haven't been outstandingly good, or even good at all. He had to admit this, even to himself. Probably I won't like it anyway, but since I don't know where it came from, I can't possibly send it back. He thought about it quite a while, then opened the envelope just to be polite. One genuine turnpike Tollbooth, it stated, and then went on. Easily assembled at home, for use by those who never travelled in lands beyond. Beyond what? Thought Milo, as he continued to read. This package contains the following items. 1. Genuine turnpike Tollbooth to be erected according to directions. 3. Precautionary signs to be used in precautionary fashion. Assorted coins for use in paying tolls. 1. Map up to date and carefully drawn by master cartographers depicting natural and man-made features. 1. Book of rules, traffic regulations, which may not be bent or broken. And in small letters at the bottom it concluded, results are not guaranteed, but if not perfectly satisfied, your wasted time will be refunded. Following the instructions which told him him to cut here, lift there, fold back all around, he soon had the toll booth unpacked and set up on its stand. He fitted the windows in place and attached the roof, which extended on both sides, and fastened on the coin box. It was very much like toll booths he'd seen on family tricks, except of course it was much smaller and purple. What a strange present, he thought to himself. The least they could have done was send a motorway with it, for it was terribly impractical without one. But since at the time there was nothing else he wanted to play with, he set up 3 signs. Slow down before approaching toll booth. Please have your fare ready. Have your destination in mind. And slowly unfolded the map. As the announcement stated, it was a beautiful map in many colours showing principal roads, rivers and seas, towns and cities, mountains and valleys, intersections and detours, and sites of outstanding interest, both beautiful and historic. The only trouble was that Milo had never heard of any of these places it dedicated, and even the name sounded most peculiar. I don't know where there really is such country, he concluded, and after studying it carefully. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. He closed his eyes and poked a finger at the map. Dictionopolis, read Milo slowly, when he saw that what his finger had chosen. Oh well, I might as well go there anyway. He walked across the room, dusted the car carefully. Then, taking the map and rulebook with him, he hopped in and, for lack of anything better to do, drove slowly up to the toll booth. As he deposited his coin and rolled past the room, he remarked wistfully, "I do hope this is an interesting game. Otherwise, the afternoon will be so terribly dull." The next chapter is Beyond Expectations. Please click the book to go to it when it is up. I just farted. I hope you like this, and goodbye.